Sunny. Let's continue. It's been a while, been too long. Been fucking around a little. But it's okay, I'll make up the time now. From now on, I'm gonna wake up, eat breakfast, and immediately go. And I might not even do that. I might just wake up, shower, boom, programming. It's difficult because, like, on the weekends, I usually still don't do. It's missing a condition right now, which is fine. But on the weekends, usually I do programming like in the later part of the day, or still late. Like right now, it's late, 10:21, right? But it's because I'm in the habit of doing that on weekdays, because I have to, because I go to work, right? But I should change it, because I get in the habit of fucking around too long in the day. I mean, sure, it's like inspiration time. I mean, you see people who create cool things. They had to spend a lot of time studying things and taking in media and just letting it, whatever the word is for when something is going through a permeable membrane. Is it permeate? Let it permeate, let it come in through my system so that I can just passively absorb it, just like playing Minecraft all the time. You learn how the game works and how you could do something like that and what makes it feel like it does. So I mean, it's not useless time, but the problem is I have to, well, if I'm making something, it's different. But if I'm just studying and learning new stuff without explicitly making, I'm just taking in new information and being like, oh, that's how the information is stored in an array. Okay, because doing it in the code will not tell me exactly how it's laid out. Excuse me. So, with this, it's an exception. I'm not going to get tired making something. This is fun. But when I'm learning the new stuff, or like the pointer syntax or something, for example, I mean, if I do it later in the day, I'm just going to get tired. And I'm at some point going to have to go to bed. So, because my returns will be too diminishing. I won't remember, what I've learned. So, all right, let's do... Need a condition. We now need to be able to actually purchase the item, meaning to determine which item is purchased. So determine which item is purchased and add it to, there's inventory, and subtract gold. Okay. So do these say the cost? They do. And so we could have a separate array. How would we do this? We could have an item, and so we could have a standard array, and each one. Well, there's an enum. Yeah, maybe we do that. Actually, I think we do that. So we say there's an item, but then there's also the class. So we could say there's an enum item. Let's see, item, what about item type, maybe? And then, well, maybe not. I mean, do we even need the enum then? Yeah, I guess we do, right? Because that lets us index the proper one. That lets us get a number and convert it to an item. So I think we do enum items and then a standard array of items. So what if we do class class item we'll say item enum item and then item, and then we're gonna say some things are gonna be weird. I'm just gonna do this for now. I'm gonna leave this as item, and then I'll swap things around. Okay, and in class item, we're gonna have, here's the thing, we're gonna have an array of them. Problem here is this guy's global. Well, no, it's a global constant though. Actually, yeah, I think that's actually fine. And then we have item list. And then we have the player's items. Okay. Oh yeah, and we just call this one items. Okay. So an item has what? Oh, actually, it shouldn't be a class because there are no no, there are no functions. I'm gonna make a struct called item, and it has a standard string view name. It has an int cost, and it has. Is that all? Let's do that. And then we can have inline const expression standard array of item, max item for how many, and we call it item list. Okay. And we initialize it with, let me get the syntax going. With healing 10. Nice. Okay, so that is converting here. So it's able to do the class tempo argument deduction for standard array. Good. Okay. And so whatever. All right, the costs will be what they are. I'm gonna say 50. Excuse me. Healing is 50. Invisibility 35. Speed 20. Strength 65. Mana 40. We'll say 35 as well. And that's it. Okay. Issue in Roscoe. This part's fine. This will just be blank for a sec. All right. So instead, so in items, there's the list of items. So what we'll say item list, index it, and get the cost. So instead of, well, and in this case, we're doing this. So this is fine. Meet and greet player, there's get player choice. Weren't we doing something with the items? I thought we were already indexing it, no? So what if I change this to be item name 2? Here we go. It was used in Roscoe. Here it is, print shop inventory, cool. Roscoe items. Roscoe has a standard array of these guys. So what it should actually be is it shouldn't be item name. It should be item list. Dot name. So it's for each one of these. Index the list properly. And actually, is there even a point of this? Do we even need them for Roscoe items? Or do I? I mean, we could say that these are all the possible items. Trying to see if there's a point of this. I don't think we need this here. I think we may as well just put this here. Or, oh, oops. Hold. Yeah. Item list, like this. Okay. And instead of Roscoe items, for each one of Roscoe items, we just do item name. Hold. For each item. Oh. I need to get its the enum version. Or do we just do that? Maybe that's what we do. You know what? That's what we do, I think. Instead, I'm going to go back to just having the cheap little items like this. The item list here. And so there's an array of, oh, and this should be different. Hold. Yeah. So this guy isn't needed anymore. Okay. And so Roscoe has one of each. Oh, well, here it is. Yeah, we'll just say he holds them in enum form. And that way we can hold them as numbers and get them as numbers. But then I can print them by just getting item list, index it with item, and get the name. Because we're holding them as integers, basically, as enums that implicitly convert to integers, unscoped enums. Which means I can use this guy as a number, and that's kind of cool. Each one of them matches its index. So the first one is 0, the second one is 1 as an item. Cool. And now I can test. Boom. 56 gold. These are the options. And we can do this. And item list. So I can index item list with this specific item and get the cost. And we also need space. We could do double tab. Tab, inline. Never mind. Oh, wait. That's what I want. I want /t/t, because we can't see the /t, so it doesn't matter. That's just inline. But we want space, or we want, instead of this, we want /t/t. Boom. Ah, shit. That's the hard part. /t/t is only there for here. /t/t. So we could do. You know, I'm not worried about it. I'll do. Well, what if we just do a space, I guess, right? It's fine. I don't have issues with it. It's okay. Boom. And we can quit. Okay. So we print each item this way. So we print the inventory, we get the choice, we do this. But then we can do purchase item. And so in doing this, so if the player choice is greater than or equal to 0, or you could say, yeah. So if it's 0 or bigger, because that's 0 is our smallest item. Yeah, I don't want to say minimum item. Sure, like purchase item. If valid item. Okay. So we need a purchase item function. And in purchasing the item, so it takes the player. Well, actually, it doesn't even need it. Well, yeah, it takes it, but we pass it there. So sure. So we could also say void purchase item const player reference player. Okay. Well, and actually this should just be a player reference. So the point is it's not modifying any of Roscoe, but it is modifying the player. So the player reference doesn't need to be const, but the member function does need to be const. And then I'll put this guy here. Why is this const? Hold. Oh, oops. Roscoe shop. Boom. And so far we're just missing a semi, which is fine. Right? No, it's just not used. Okay, that's fine. And so for purchasing an item, we'll pass in the player here. We already have player. What's happening here? Oh, hold. So in this case, I guess we'll take a non-const player. Because if this guy takes a const, he can't pass him then as a non-const. So we'll take him as a modifiable version, or treat him as modifiable. And then players unreferenced in purchase, that's fine. Okay. So how do we purchase? So we get the choice, and I think we purchase item, and then we pass player choice. And so we're gonna say who purchased what he purchase, and we'll say character item choice player, and then character item choice. Okay. Hold. The fuck's happening here? Yo, fucking hold. Oh, oops. Character item choice. Bop. I was messing up the wrong function. Okie doke. So, purchase item. could do this. So far, we're just not using these. That's fine. Okay. So we'll print the item. Excuse me. So we'll say here, same instructions here. Print the purchased item. And then, add to player's inventory. Subtract player's gold. Oh, and we should also check. So we say if the choice is valid and the player has enough gold and well, we could say or maybe purchase item, this is handled. I think that gets handled here. So this should be check player's gold first. Excuse me. Subtract player's gold and print. Okay. So the player needs an inventory. So the player has a name, which doesn't matter. And in our case, it's got my name, but he's got this much gold. And then he has an inventory. And so we could say, do we do some pushbacking? Do we have a standard vector inventory? We do need that because if we do a C style array, the size is constant. It must be known at compile time. If we do an array, the inventory size must be constant and known at compile time because an array, standard array, is just a wrapped C-style array that has member functions. That's it. So the player needs vector because we need standard vector. And we'll say the player has a standard vector. And this will be const standard string view. And this will be standard vector called inventory. Okay. Oh, of what? Include items by H. Need item definition. And in this case, item list. So nothing is relying on this being called item. Oh, actually, hold. Item enum. So these need to be stored as item enum. This needs to be defined as item enum. Nothing is relying on. Hold on. I need to go and find that first. Just need to go into Roscoe. And this needs to be. What are we doing? We're static casting this integer to be item enum. And we're assigning the item enum to be this because we can't implicitly convert from an integer to an enum, but we can do the other way around. Okay? And now this will be called item, this will be called item. Uh-oh. Okay. Now we have issues because the standard vector isn't defined yet. So it thinks that it's the type of the whole fucking universe. So it's going to be of type item. And we don't know the type. Or this, hold on. Item. Fuck. It's been a while. I guess it's of size 0. We're gonna have to be reallocating though. So what if I just said 5 to start? Fuck. How do we even... What if we did standard vector int 5 test? I actually don't remember standard vector. It's been a second. Oh, I guess we don't have to specify. And that's the answer. It's the allocator. Oh, so the custom ones can have this allocator type name, the type, and then type name of the allocator. But the allocator isn't always needed. Okay. So fuck it. We'll just give it a size of 0. I mean, we could say start it with size 0, but I'll just value initialize it to start. So far in Roscoe is probably not being used yet. Yep. So, oh, and the player has gold. So we're going to say well, here's the thing. Wait, no, that's fine. If player get gold is greater than or equal to item list indexed with, oh, hold. Now here's the hard part. I need to go from the item choice to the item. As the player chooses a character, because we need to be able to choose Q and extract Q, but we also need to extract 0 through 4 or whatever, 0 through 3. I mean, I could print to check what the difference is. Okay, I mean, so far, do we get an issue if we... Yeah, makes sense. We'll hold 63. Sure. Okay, well, player is being used here now. Okay, so I'm gonna comment this whole thing. And then I'm gonna do standard character output 1. Well, we'll do static cast to an int 1. Or standard character, but yeah, okay. So 1 is 49, so we have to subtract 48. If I subtract 9 minus 48, we should get or really it should be this minus 48. Yeah, because this would be 57 minus 48. Boom. Okay, so it's minus 48. Okay, so I'm gonna have another function in where? I want it in Roscoe CPP? I guess all right. So in purchase item, we'll say int choice, or well, item character to item int. Okay, and it takes a character, item character. And what it does is returns item character. What returns? Static cast to an int item character minus 48. And really we could say Roscoe CPP is not being included anywhere. So we could just make this outside. Const expression int item character to int convert. What do we even say? Converter value? Like, this is ridiculous. And then minus item character to int converter value. Because Roscoe's not being included anywhere else. Roscoe doesn't have anything friended. Basically, this thing is const expression, so it has internal linkage, so nothing is going to be able to use it. So I don't think I have an issue with this. Okay. Value to get int from character. So we make sure that if the player choice, oh shit, hold on. We actually need to convert the character. So maybe that's what we do. So we get player's choice. And if it's Q, then we do this. And then convert player's choice to item integer. And so we'll say int player choice int is item character, or well, item character to item int player choice. Boom. And we can actually move this guy down then. Convert player's item character to integer for indexing. For indexing item as enum. All right. And so if player choice int is less than 0 and player choice int is less than maximum item, it's a valid item, we could say else and we could say, where's this part? So it's so if it's invalid input, So if it's Q, do this. Valid input. Try again. And actually, I think we say here for get player choice. Say it here. And actually, we'll do this. I think this is when we do the while loop. So we could say while true again. Get the player's choice. Let's see. If it's Q, totally return. If it's valid, then I think we purchase item, print, and break. But if we break, so if you buy one item, so you purchased something, you have this much gold, and then it says that again. Okay, so the inventory part is okay. So I think break is fine here. Where are we at? Try again. Valid input and try again. So this is process transaction. Cool. I'm going to do another end too. I like splitting up the see you next time bit. Excuse me. Okay. And so we handle if it's this, and then we convert it to the character, and then we make sure that it's within range. Excuse me. If it's purchasing an invalid item or it's another character, then we do invalid input, and we try getting input again. Cool. I think we can handle the purchasing now. So we check the player's gold. I think what we do is we say, if the player's gold is greater than or equal to item list, this should be int. I'm just going to keep the names. Item choice int. And so I'm going to put player choice int. I'll call this player choice. What is happening here? Hold. This is an int, not a character. So in Roscoe H, changing this to an int. Item list with item choice dot cost. The player needs enough money check if player has enough gold. If it is, then think this all needs to be in one. And we could say else you cannot, or you do not have enough gold to afford that. And that means purchase item comes back. And we could say purchase result and make this return a standard optional. Maybe that's crazy. We can have a bool for success if the purchase was successful. Now we could say bool purchase and initialize it with this result, and then go in and change this to be a bool. And we could say if purchase, then break. If purchase, break, else you cannot afford that. And then I can remove this from here. I think if this is true, then we return true and return false. I don't think we need an else because we're either breaking or we're doing this. Okay. We would be breaking out of this loop, and then we would try the next item. Otherwise, we would say can't afford that, and we would continue until you get one that you can afford. And you could say you cannot afford that. Oh, and you cannot afford that actually means that you should break. So in that case, it's actually okay. Well, so this should be, if it's valid, we should actually just purchase it. I think we just purchase item and then break. Right? And then if we say if false, you cannot afford that. I like saying you don't have enough gold to afford that. And this can be void. And this can be an else. Purchase item is now void because we're just calling it. And we're saying if the gold is good, buy the item and subtract it, and then go to the next. And if you don't have enough gold, print you don't have enough gold, and then go to the next. Hold on, I need water. Okie doke. I want to hear my voice more clearly. I'm not listening to anything. I don't have the fucking tism. I don't need to hide my ears. Okay. So, the gold is good. Print the purchased item. So we can say you purchased one item list, item choice, dot name, period, and in Roscoe, what's the point of Roscoe items here? Do we even use Roscoe items? What is the point? If I deleted this, or if I commented this out, I get one error, is that it? On 2521? Huh? Oh, here. I mean, we may as well just say, well, I guess you need you need an array of the enums. That's what you need. And the point is Roscoe has the array of the enums. I mean, it doesn't need to be with him, but I think it can go either way. Okay. And player will have a print inventory. Okay. You purchased one something. And so we're going to subtract the gold. Or we could say sure. Sure, we'll add it and subtract. Okay. So we'll say add it to the player's inventory. And so we'll say player add item to inventory. So we'll have a public set players held gold, void add item to inventory. And we'll take, what will we take? Do we take an integer and we add that one, or do we take, no, we just pass the item. Yeah, we just take an item. We take a const item reference. Or, no, I think, hold. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Because even if it's an R value, we can still copy it in. So. Right? Because if we're doing pushback, I'm pretty sure it's copying it into a new element. And we'll call it item. And we'll say inventory pushback with item. Hold. Okay, Roscoe's the issue. One item list, item choice. What was the problem here? Is it just that we were item list dot name? Weren't we already doing that in print? Item list name. Hold. Bro, the fuck is... What is this sound? It's like the table touching the wall or something. Making this little clicking sound. It is. Okay, I think so. Just a different pitch. I wasn't able to replicate it. All right, line 63. Item choice. So why was it not happy there, huh? 63 and 66, item list, item choice. It's passing an integer. Versus, oh, I think that might have been why. Wait, hold. Print item. Or print shop inventory. Oh, the problem is that item is an item enum. For each item of an item enum. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so we will need to, we're going to do data and item list getting its C style array, which we can then use assigned guy to index. To get the cost, we can say, hey, you purchased one something, and then we can call player add item to inventory, and we can do item data item choice hold, and it's item list, sorry. Item list data, that felt satisfying to type. Item list data to get the C style array of items indexed with item choice, and that's it. That's what we're adding to the inventory. And then we are subtracting it. So we're saying player set gold to be or player subtract gold. I'd rather say set gold. I mean, how about we say player add gold and subtract gold, huh? Maybe that's cooler. I feel like that's cooler. I don't know why. Can we just not fucking do this? Okay. How about we say add gold and m gold is plus equals gold, but then we have const expression void what the fuck? Add gold subtract gold, and gold, excuse me, m gold is minus equals gold. I was about to say hello. Set players held gold. Give player one item. Okay, and now we can say player subtract gold. How much gold? Item list data. Item choice. Cost. The cost of the item chosen from the list. Specifically, the list, the item, cost. All right, cool. This is how we get the item. And boom. All right, see what happens. I want, oh, and then we want to print how much gold we have. Actually, no, I think it already does, right? Print shop inventory. So here's our selection. Meet and greet says you have this much gold. So it's actually, hello, player, you have this much gold. And then, oh, and it only does it after the purchase. So, after the purchase, so it only says it in purchase item. Yeah, potion of something. You have player get gold left. Oh, hold. And otherwise you don't have enough gold. Player didn't have enough gold. Not enough gold. Ethan, let's do, how much gold do we have? 56? Give me a healing potion. You have gold left. There's too much spacing happening here. How about this? I'm just gonna add the line here. not enough. Ethan, so you do your name. All right, we'll do that. 56 gold. Let's do, give me a speed and a mana. So we'll do, purchased a potion of speed, 36 left, and a mana. What about a healing? Don't have enough gold to afford that. And then it goes again, right? Invisibility. Can't afford any of these. Can't afford any of these. Invalid input. Oh, and the first thing I typed happened to be Q. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So what are the inputs here? Well, let's see. So it's, we try invalid input again, purchase, until we quit. Oh yeah, true. And then we need to print the inventory. So we'll do Ethan. We'll do invalid input. We'll do invalid input. We'll purchase a mana. Purchase. Give me a speed. 1 gold left. Fuck. Invalid input, and we'll quit. Okay. And then in the player, we'll do players print inventory. And player H will have a little public function called void print inventory. Const. Sure. And in player, we'll do boom. Oops. I don't know how I. Okay. Oh, I forget that I could just print inventory const. The fuck? Oh, this is player print inventory. We'll say for const auto reference each item in inventory set. We'll say our inventory contains oh shit, the number of each. So it's not for each, it's makes me want to maybe change how the inventory is implemented. I was thinking about a 2D array for a second, like an inventory of these items, but of these different amounts. So the first is the inventory of, or the first is an array of items done to quantity. But then we're not printing them if they're 0. I don't want to just have them be there and be empty. I'd rather like add them uniquely. But now we don't want to just, we could just, if we just add a new item, it'll say speed and invisibility, another speed. Say this. And gold, and gold. Okay, so we need to print the inventory. And we could create an array. Well, I mean, like, do we have a 2D array? Like, we have an array for the item, and then we have the next element for, like, we have a, do we have, if we had a standard, well, fuck, the size isn't static. So would it be a standard vector of standard vectors? Or a standard vector of, no, I wouldn't need that. But I mean, you could see that you'd have, hey, different items, and then how many of each. Or you could say, you could say inventory and quantity, huh? See, we could say an item has quantity. Instead of adding a new item, we just increase the quantity. I wouldn't want two separate arrays that I'm incrementing, so if I added another unique item, we have to add another element to the array to match it. I mean, I'm almost thinking, I kind of like this, int quantity. Okay, this is still fine, right? We have quantity, but instead we change up so for each item we say we do the number, so we do item quantity so this X potion of item name. Okay. And instead of just pushing it back, we add item to inventory, we do that. And instead, I think I'll implement this differently. So in player, we're going to do void player add item to inventory. Or I'll just do the const item reference item. Okay. So how does this work? I think we'll say for auto reference item in inventory. I'm going to call this new item. if new item name is item name, then item quantity, then increment item quantity. Else, we'll do this. Let's see, hold on. So if it matches this item, nope. If it matches this item, nope. So I think we say for each of these, I think we have a bool. I think we say bool added item. Store whether item added, item quantity, and then added item is true. Okay, so we loop through. And then we say if not added item hasn't been added yet, so it's unique, then inventory pushback new item. Bop! Ethan, I want a speed. I want another speed. I want a strength, because I'm just hoping. Don't have enough gold to afford that. Great. And I'm going to quit. And it says, fuck. Let's see. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, hold on. So added item is false at first. And then we loop through the inventory. But at first the inventory is empty, so this should just break. Shouldn't have anything, right? Oh wait, hold on. No, wait, yeah, this is fine. And then we increase the quantity. And then this should also just return as well. But if we haven't added the item, after we've looped through the inventory, then we push it back. Then we print each and say the quantity. So I'm going to get a speed, another speed, and I'm going to quit. 1 potion of speed. For what reason? And I'll skip another line too. Oh, wait. Each item should have a default quantity of 1, so that when you add it, the quantity is 1, and when you add it again, it gets incremented. Instead, the default quantity was 0, which means it does indeed get added, it gets pushed back, but it has a quantity of 0, it gets incremented to 1, so it looks like it is 1. Boom, guaranteed this works. Speed, speed, Q. Pop! Let's go. Now the hard part. How could I make this better? Probably so many ways. Any of this shit totally not needed? Alright, so we have the different items. We have all the items stored with their costs for the world. We have the actual item definition that it has a cost, it has a quantity, default is 1. Excuse me, items min quantity is 1. And then it has a name, excuse me, and then it has an item type to cheaply get the item or to index arrays of items. Item enum to do that. Okay. All right. So create a player. Create this shop, Roscoe shop. It's really created at compile time. We enter the shop. And really, the shop exists before the player. Player enters shop. Player checks inventory after shopping. Okay. So the Roscoe shop has a bunch of things. It has string. Does it need standard string? It does because it gets the player's name, right? I don't think it needs it. The constructor, I think, is fine to have here. Yeah, but then maybe not. Maybe we just say, the definitions are all elsewhere. We need standard array to create that. We need to assert to initialize this whole thing to make sure he has one of each item. We don't need to print anything in here. We need player info, but not in here. Yes, we do, because we need to be able to receive a player. Someone has to enter the shop. Someone has to purchase an item. And you can have that be different. You can put purchase item in the player and pass it a type of shop and have a shop class from which other shops inherit. So the player can purchase anywhere and get an item. That we don't have this redundant purchase item in every shop class. In our case, I don't think it matters. print shop inventory. We do that so that we can get the inventory. And it's a member enough function. I'd rather not friend a function. And I'd also rather not have to pass a this pointer to a non-member. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Or print shop inventory. Someone, it receives, it's no longer a member, and it receives a const Roscoe shop pointer called shop, and it dereferences shop. Hold. No, but it's not public, so it would need to be friended. Or it would need to get all the items as a reference. Like, I don't know, it seems overkill. Like, how do we get the items to this function? Print shop inventory? I mean, you could say, you could have this be in that generic class that everything inherits from. I think print shop inventory is fine as a member function. Because what are we doing? We're saying the shop.print inventory. Boom. Or we're just saying really we're saying print inventory. But if it was public, then we could say print.print inventory. But we're not gonna, because we don't have we don't need to use any implicit this pointers. Okay, we're giving them one of each item. Player enters the shop. Or you could say void start shopping. Start shopping. Start shopping. Or someone goes shopping and ends. So I'm saying go shopping. And go shopping. Someone goes shopping. Okay. In the player, we can add an item to the inventory. We can store whether an item is added. If it is, we say it's true, and then we just return an end. There's no point in checking again. May as well just return. It's one line of code to not have to check a condition every time. Early return. Check if already holding that item. New item is novel. Okay. Or rather, isn't already held. Print all items. Print gold. Okay. Everything in here. Oh, hey, rare. Hold. Oh, it is not a member function, but it can be made const expression. Cool. And nothing's gonna, you can't include a CPP file, so nothing else is ever gonna access this guy. Do convert character to int. For item character to integer. It's not any character to an int. Player has name, gold, and inventory. Dynamic inventory. Honestly, when we create the player should have to have a name and gold. The player has gold. It's really print player's inventory. Make some setters to set the gold. Give the player an item. I like the comments before, honestly. Even though it maybe doubles code, I can just read the comments and not have to worry about, oh, constant expression, oh, we're getting gold. I mean, sure, I guess I could also rely on my IDE here to look at, oh, we get gold, print the inventory, add gold, subtract gold, whatever. Maybe I don't even care about that. I just care about the sections. I'm looking for my section. Okay. Getters, setters. Oh, here we go. Add item to inventory. Instead of get gold, print inventory, add, subtract. Oh, here it is. It's like I'm automatically being forced to read all of these functions to finally, boom. Instead of, oh, getters, setters, boom. And maybe we put these guys together to have the sections better. I don't know. That way we have everything bundled up, section. Everything bundled up, section. Bundled up, section. See how that looks here. Well, we don't have anything. Roscoe's sold items. This isn't needed here. Player purchases an item. Player's name doesn't change. Can't be constant expression because who knows? What if we remove these? Even still, okay. Need an array of items. It's probably best to put these in a namespace. Yeah, I don't know about all that. It's kind of shit. I'm not going to name anything else items like that. I think this is good. Oh, wait. I don't know what remove means. Okay. Alright. Jesus. Okay, we're good. Jesus. Alright. Give me. That's it. Damn. Fuck. Blackjack's gonna take 40 years longer. Oh my god. A card game that uses a standard deck of cards. 52 unique cards. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, I guess I'll need this. Okay. Enums for the card ranks, huh? To print the card? Bro, why the fuck would you show this? The value? I mean, that value? Well, we could just, I mean, value. Oh. Oh. Wait, that. Oh, but ace, wait, one or, though, no? I guess you don't really treat it as one. Well, I mean, you do, though, if you get two kings and you get an ace, huh? Alright, it's the thing for tomorrow morning.